And hi, Jeris. Welcome to Linea Rock.
Hello. Man, that
Let's
sounded
go.
like a lot of nice stuff you were saying there.
Yes, because you're doing a lot of stuff, guys. So,
Yeah.
Jacoby, how are you? Actually, Papa Roach was the last band to perform in Milano, our hometown, on February 20, 2020. And then, boom, the lockdown came, the coronavirus, and you, Jacoby, were in our studios for an interview that afternoon, and we all were still, unaware of what was around the corner. So it's absolutely weird, And did you realize, actually, that you were the last band performing in Milano?
No, I didn't realize we were the last band to perform in Milan. So, what are you guys having concerts again, or is that not happening?
No, not yet. No.
Well, then we got to be the first concert back.
Oh, really? That's unbelievable.
Have us. Yeah, man. It's unfortunate, but the world got sick, so we had to go home and chill out for a minute. But we've been super busy since we've been home, and doing this collab with Jeris was, part of that medicine for keeping my brain straight, and being creative. And it's actually been a good time being home. I miss the road, but we've been really creative and spending a lot of time with my family.
Yeah, I'm sure you miss, your fans a lot, because you have a very strong connection with your people. By the way, as you said, the pandemic won't stop Papa Roach, and there's a lot going on around the band to celebrate 20-year anniversary of a band always on the run. There's the Greatest Hits Volume 2, some collaborations here and there that you've done, including this particular one with Jeris Johnson, who is with us tonight, for Last Resort Reloaded, which we will play, after the interview. You met through TikTok, social media. How did you hook up? What's the story behind this collaboration?
It's a really good story, actually.
Yeah.
It's one of the best stories ever. Okay. Yeah. And, basically, I just, I started getting some momentum on TikTok for posting what I was posting, my music, my whatever. And I started doing these like remixes, these like little older rock songs, and just kind of like, and I wouldn't even call it like a remix, like in the traditional sense. It was literally just, I was taking like the songs and kind of pretending like I was the one that made them, like what I was doing, adding my own verses and read the all new beats and just like, I don't know, just going crazy with it. And I ended up posting one of Last Resort, and blew up, went really viral, like right away, it was getting millions of hits pretty much immediately. And then not before long, I was getting a phone call from Jacoby saying, hey, like, we're in the studio, you should come down and hang with us. Like, come down and talk and hang. And so, of course, there was a couple more steps, from that. His brother, Bryson, kind of like knew about me. And then this other guy, Colin, kind of knew about me. And so it kind of got set up a little bit like that. But I didn't really know that they had heard it or whatever, basically until I was getting invited to go to the studio. I was like, oh, okay. All right. So it's going to be like that. All right, cool. So then I show up and we just started talking and getting to know each other. And, it was love at first sight. It truly was.
So, Jeris, you mean that this is the very first time that an artist, of these songs that you've done remixes and reloaded versions of Call You Up and Ook, that's the very first time. Okay.
Yeah, I literally went. Everything happened so quickly for me, like at the end of the year, and just in terms of TikTok and the internet and everything. Like, I gained 1 million followers in 2 months on TikTok. So I went from not like nobody in my bedroom to the studio with Papa Roach, living in LA really quickly, like very, very quickly. So it all felt like a crazy fever dream, like in the best way, just like, damn, what is happening right now? But I loved it. I embraced every part of it, and and they were so cool to meet, and Jacoby was so welcoming of me right away, and everybody was so like into this and like into what I was doing and into the idea of like doing something with it, that I was just like, cool, I'm just gonna, like, what an unexpected turn of events, you know. I'm just gonna roll with it and like see what happens and like see where it goes, you know.
And Jacoby, how was it for you? I mean, somebody told you about Jeris, or you find out about just, you know, yourself about the song?
So my like Jeris said, my brother Bryson, he shot me a text. He's like, "Hey, dude, check this TikTok out." And I checked it out. I was like, "Oh, that's dope." And then I kept getting like texts from all these friends. My ex-drummer Dave Buckner's like, "Yo, dude, you see this?" And so these people just kept hitting me up going, "Hey, man, you see this thing yet?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, this shit's tight." And like he said, we were in the studio, and Tobin, our bass player, is like, "Dude, we got to get a hold of him, man. Like, you should just link up with him and just see if we vibe." And he came down to the studio, like he said, and we just became fast friends. And, you know, it's like, I'm always interested in what's happening on the underground. And I feel that that's where the future of music lies, is these new things that are bubbling up that people don't know about, you know. And Jeris blew up right quick and had a lot of really cool sounds. I was checking out his Spotify page and listening to what he had released. And I was like, all right, cool. This kid's on some OG shit. He's melding these genres and these styles. And, you know, I got a love for music that really pushes the envelope. And Jeris does that with his music. And we try to do that. We do that with our music as well. And so it just seemed like a really natural fit. And it's exciting, man. It's exciting to see where Jeris is going to take rock and roll, you know, and it's inspiring to see young artists that are breaking the mold again. And that's, for me, that's where true progression lies.
Sure.
You know, you just keep smashing it and rebuilding it.
But how was it technically done? I mean, you said that you met, actually, even if it was during, I guess, the lockdown period. But how did you work, I mean, on the song compared to the reloaded version that Jeris has done by himself and this new one? Which are the differences? How did you collaborate, you know, to make a new one?
Well, I mean, pretty much Jeris had the beat. He was working with his boy Sacco, ripped this beat, and sent us or I don't even know if I heard a full version of it yet. And they were just like, roll into the studio, let's see what you got. And I know that they had wrestled with it for a while, and they were kind of stressed out about it. And I came into the studio, and I was like, this shit's dope. We did a few tweaks to it. I cut some vocals. You know, I mean, Jeris, you could kind of elaborate a bit more on your experience with it, but I felt like, man, when I rolled in, I was like, this shit slaps.
Well, it was weird because like I'd only made 50 seconds of it for the TikTok, you know, so I didn't make anything past what I posted on TikTok. And now all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're gonna release the new version of Last Resort by Papa Roach, infamous song that I grew up listening to, that everybody knows, and I'm gonna co-release it with Papa Roach. And all of a sudden I was like, holy shit, like the weight, you know, on my shoulders of like having to I don't know, like deal with that idea of like reloading or remaking such an iconic song and trying to figure out how to make it a full song and how to respect the original, but also like bring it into the future and stuff. And so, yeah, me and my buddy Sacco wrestled with the production of it and the you know, just the kind of style of it all a handful of times. We went through multiple versions before we landed on what it actually ended up being, you know. And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes songs are just kind of like battles, you know. You just got to fight them. And so by the time Jacoby came in the studio and we were going to cut the vocals too, I was like, all right, like I was thinking you could do like a new verse or whatever. And Jacoby was like, I just want to hear more of you on it. He's like, I just want to hear you keep doing it. I'll just sing the hook. And I was like, okay, all right, I guess. So I had this whole other idea, and then he came in and was like, nah, dude, you should just do another verse. And I was like, okay, that changes everything. So then that changed it again. And then, you know, so there was definitely like a process of kind of how it all unfolded, but obviously I'm, you know, stoked about where it ended up, and the fight was worth it, you know, because now we're sitting at like 10 million streams already on Spotify, and you know, millions of views on the music video, and like it's turned out to be a really like smash success. So it was
And that song, as you mentioned, is such a manifesto. You know, it became an hymn, you know, for a lot of people already 21 years ago, and it's still very, very strong. And by the way, also very current and topical, you know, suffocating, no breathing. It's like very actual, I must say. So it's like, you know, plus you are in a moment of a huge anniversary. 20 years is a long time for Papa Roach. So do you believe in coincidence? You know, Jacoby, the fact that it's happening now has an extra meaning for you?
Well, I mean, I look at this as it's a celebration of this song, and, you know, being 20 years into, you know, our career as a professional, you know, major label recording artist. Honestly, it blows me away that the song is so iconic and still is relevant. And then we were really looking for a cool way to celebrate the song, and we weren't. And Jeris's TikTok popped up, and we're like, there it is. Like, this music spoke to him when he was younger, and what's his take on our original? And I love lyrically, you know, like what Jeris did to it. He brought something fresh, you know, and I think that it's not such a, you know, it has dark lyrical commentary, but it's also about how you respond. You know, in the original, it's like, how do you respond to such a dark space, being in such a dark space? And it's about opening up and being honest about your feelings and what you're walking through. And so, you know, but Jeris, I love what you did with the lyric, man, and brought your own flavor. You could elaborate on that, man, because I thought you celebrated it proper.
Yeah, I just like took it, you know, like I never want to write something that's like dark just for the sake of being dark or something like that. Like I always wanted to write things that were like actually authentic. And, you know, as all this stuff was going on, you know, I was very happy. You know, it was like, this was like my dreams coming true. You know what I mean? So it's like, it felt weird to try to write something that's like, like, you know, like just so dark and like down here. So I thought, okay, a cool spin on it would be like, you know, more about the like, like I wasn't there, you know, I was there but now I'm here, you know what I mean? And now I feel this way. Now I feel strong. Now I'm powerful. Now, you know, now I'm a whatever. So it's like, I kind of wanted to put this like actually more positive spin on it. And I also kind of figured like, you know, theoretically speaking, and I know Jacoby's life arc and stuff from getting to know him, like, you know, I feel like it's also kind of reflected, like the journey that the song has taken is also a similar journey that, you know, your life has taken.
Absolutely.
And yeah, like when you wrote it and like that came from an authentic place, but you know, now you've overcome so much and you seem to, and you have such a positive outlook on life, just being around you and just being around your energy. You know, it's like and you know, you've got a family and you've got all this good stuff. So it's like, it also didn't really seem to make sense for you to be like, oh, life sucks or whatever. So I was just like,
absolutely.
Let's
life fucking rips, bro. Life rips.
So Jeris, do you remember the first time that you heard Last Resort? When was it? Where were you?
Yeah, I do. I very much remember. And it's weird because I don't remember many songs like that I heard for the first time, but this one is one of the only ones, if not the only one, that I do remember hearing for the first time. And it was it was either like a football practice or like a game or a football game or something when I was 8 or 9 or whatever, in little, you know, football, American football, I should say, you know.
Okay.
And one of the dads of the group, you know, pulled up his truck and started playing music, and the first song he played when we were warming up was Last Resort. And I remember hearing it and just being so like, wow, this is like the first time I've ever heard, you know, a song like this. It was edgy and energetic, and there was cussing in it, you know, and I was like, this is crazy. I remember feeling so, I just remember it was the first time I had been delivered that like set of emotions before.
Yeah.
You know, and I hadn't felt that like from music or whatever. So it left a big imprint on me then, and I remember just feeling so pumped up and so ready to go like win the game or whatever I was doing. And and so I never ever forgot that song just because of that random little memory.
And Jacoby, for you, I mean, it's been 21 years, and now your life is definitely better than back then. How do you relate to this song any differently now, since, you know, what happened right after it became a huge hit, even if, you know, its meaning it's pretty strong and dark?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's important to know where you came from and where you are at in your life currently, and I got a lot to be grateful for. And you know, what I do know is that I've traveled the world and I've met a lot of people that this song has been like a light in a dark space for them in their life.
Sure.
And that's like incredibly valuable to me. Like, I just think I never intended to be that, you know what I mean? I was just like, I'm fucking making music. Like, I'm just doing this. And to now be on the other side of it 21 years later and know that this song like really spoke to people at that moment it really is just, it blows me away. It makes me so fucking proud of that song and so grateful. And you know, another way I relate to it is, you know, I got young kids and I know that they're going to come to a point in their life when, you know, not suicidal, but just, you know, in the moments of their struggle, right? Yeah. And what I think I've been able to teach my kids through this, maybe not this song in particular, but that message of like overcoming and facing your demons and stepping up to the bullshit and pressing through it and finding your better authentic self through that. And I think that message is important for people because a lot of people feel beat down at moments in their lives. And so it's a powerful message that I think people need to continue to hear.
On this matter, do you think that, you know, that for Papa Roach, this collaboration is also a cool, smart way to reach a new generation of fans? And will you guys actually also collaborate with Jeris on some new stuff, new songs? Did you think about it?
Well, I think, I mean, fuck yeah, I think we'll collaborate in the future for sure. You know, I think that's definitely on the table. And I just see Jeris as he's just at the beginning of this like career that he's worked so hard for in his life. And it's exciting to come to know him early on in his career, because I see him as one of these dudes that's going to be a continuous rising star.
Yeah. Jeris, how do you choose actually the songs, you know, that you retouch? Which is the criteria that you use?
If it pops in my brain and I like the idea, you know, like, okay. There's really there's no formula really behind it or anything like that, you know, and ultimately it's kind of, you know, it's one of those things where I've sort of just done this for social media because, you know, it's just helped me, I don't know, get a platform and, you know, like gain some fans, but really what I spend most of my time doing is working on like my original music, you know, my album, all my stuff. So I kind of just do the remixes and the reloaded stuff and all that stuff just to kind of, you know, for social media and just to kind of keep people engaged and keep people entertained and you know, and kind of just to sort of literally bring rock into the future, all these old songs I used to listen to, old bands I used to listen to growing up, and just kind of going, what would it sound like if it came out right now? You know, what would that sound like?
I love what you did with Can You Feel My Heart, man. I've been banging that thing, dude.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was another, you know, that just rips. Like, man, is this just going to keep happening to me? You know, like Bring Me the Horizon, reaching out, and Oliver Sykes reaching out to me and being like, yo, let's drop this. So that was another thing, you know, that just, and like, I don't really necessarily want my career to be defined by that type of thing, by remixes and stuff. But, you know, for the past few months, it's done a really good job of just generating lots of new opportunities. And I'm the type of person that just rolls with the punches, you know, and just kind of like tries to take everything in stride, you know. And so I'm like, all right, if the universe is gonna present this to me, you know, like I'm just gonna fucking take it then, because whatever, you know, it must be right. It must be the right thing to do.
And Jacoby, you also just released a cover of the classic song White Room by Cream, collaboration with Apocalyptica. And there's also the ending, which is featured in the horror motion pictures, The Retaliators. How were both these experiences and this collaboration now, you know, like a way to do something different, you know, during these difficult times, like a way to kill time? Or it was like a new need, you know, to open yourselves to new fields and broaden, in a sense, your horizons? Is it a sign of a creativity block, in a sense, or the opposite thing, that, you know, in this lockdown you feel like more inspired in some way?
Oh, definitely more inspired. I think I've been able to take a step back from just the grind of touring and let my soul breathe and have something to say. And that's important for artists, I think, especially, you know, we're 20 years into this thing, and, you know, sometimes it could just get a little monotonous, and taking this break has been really healthy. And, you know, what I've learned from hip hop music as well, though, is that you got to keep your foot on the gas, you know? And so while I'm home, I'm going, what am I going to do? Let's do some collaborations. You know, I did something with Hollywood Undead. I just dropped one with this DJ named Keizo. Track's called Domination. It's like an EDM metal song. Then we did this track with Apocalyptica. We did the classic Cream. And the reason we did White Room by Cream was we were inspired to do that one was in the new version of the Joker. At the end of the movie, that's like the song that rolls in the credits. And it was such a powerful movie. And to wrap up with the film up with that song and the Joker's dancing around and the mayhem, like we're like, all right, how do we take that and flip it and do our thing to it? And I had a good time working with those guys. I wanted to work with Apocalyptica for quite some time. And so that was cool collaborating with them. And then just getting on film, on camera, and doing that was just, let me get outside the box. You know, life starts when you're outside your comfort zone. And so I continually try to get myself out of the comfort zone. And so you'll see a lot more of me collaborating with other artists, having other artists jump on P. Roach tracks. Like, I think it's important to make this thing, you know, hip hop's done a great job of building each other up. And I think rock's starting to do more and more of that. So I think it's a great collaboration. Is always just, and it makes you a better writer and a better artist when you get in the room with somebody else. For
sure. And Jacoby, what kind of experience has been for you, you know, looking back on these 20 years, but at least mostly the last 10, you know, compiling the greatest hits record in a moment like this, where, you know, you can stay alone and reflect on things, was just quite a stronger experience than you imagine it to be?
Oh yeah, definitely. I can't believe we're releasing the Greatest Hits Volume 2. I mean, that's fucking crazy in itself. That dream that I had when I was a little kid sitting in a room, you know, I want to be a fucking rock star. And everybody thought I was crazy. Well, here I am, you know, 20 some odd years later, and I'm a fucking rock star. And I'm, you know, and I'm releasing the Greatest Hits record. I'm like, what? And so lots of gratitude and the reflection, you know, and the times where we've had some tough times as a band. But we've always been passionate about this thing, and passionate about this band, and passionate about creating. And it's not always about the successes, you know. Behind every success, there's a ton of failures, you know, even in songwriting and in life. And I've learned so much from this experience to know that I got to push through right at that point where I'm like, fuck, like just keep pressing. And when I do that, great things happen in my life. And so I will continue to walk that path, because, you know, life's supposed to be hard, You know,
Sure.
I keep forgetting that life's really is supposed to be hard. The shit ain't supposed to be easy. And you know, because if it was easy, what's the fucking joy? You know what I mean?
Right.
I need that struggle. I need a little bit of that just I need to fight through it, you know?
Yeah. I totally get it. And about the unreleased stuff, which was the criteria, you know, also for, you know, to choose the songs to remix, reload, the live versions? How did you do that? You actually opened a box, the archive, and picking stuff.
Yeah,
How did it work?
What's
That's-
in here?
That's the box.
That's an old school Papa Roach sticker in here. Oh shit. Hey, real quick, I got to show you something. I was cleaning out the closet, literally,
Yeah.
and I found the original. Look at this. The original oh shit, hold on. The original two-song cassettes.
Cassette single. Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. That's rare stuff.
Yeah. Hey,
What the
Jeris, I'm gonna have to send you one of these, dude.
Yeah, what's that? What's that technology? I've never seen that before.
Yeah, dude, this is like old school, bro. That's that old school shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking trippy, man. So yeah, just reflect, you know, just I guess for picking the songs that we remixed, we just wanted to do the ones that felt like they would the vocal would naturally fit into like an EDM space. And so Born for Greatness, Top of the World, they just seemed like obvious, you know, and they came out great. The remixes are dope. The song choice, we look at what the fans choose on streaming, you know, and see like what the fans really gravitate to, because there's songs on there that weren't really necessarily the big singles, but the fans love them. So you got to give the people what they want.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so last question for tonight. How do you both guys imagine the post-pandemic, you know, from an artist's point of view, and what's immediately next in the can for both of you?
I am just still in take over the internet mode, you know, because as, you know, me being who I am, you know, it's like, I understand the value of getting really fucking popular on the internet, and that's what rock, and that's to me what rock needs to do to keep going into the future is like, you know, it needs a new fucking rock star that's creating chaos on the internet. You know what I mean? And like, I just wanna take over the internet first, so that way by the time shows and tours and everything are in full swing, we just got the whole, like, we're selling out immediately, you know. I could do with skipping that you know, bumming it in a van phase, playing in front of 50 people. Like, I'm just gonna skip that step and just go right to fucking selling out venues, because, you know, that's what I want to do. I don't want to deal with all that nonsense. So, you know, my plan is just to keep taking over the internet, keep releasing singles, music videos, keep going viral, keep doing what's gotten me to this point, you know.
Sure.
Everything has just unfolded in such a way over the past few months, and I'm still really early on in everything. I'm still literally a baby, you know, and within the time of my career. So everything's just starting, and like, I'm really excited to see where it's going to go. But,
sure.
you know, my goal is just to keep doing what I'm doing because it's working.
And for you, Jacoby, post-pandemic and next project, how do you see, you know, the world after this?
Oh, well, the fucking world ain't ready for what Papa Roach about to bring. We got a record in the canon right now that is fucking off the chain.
Yeah, they actually aren't ready. They're not ready.
The motherfuckers better get diapers, because we're about to rock the shit out of you, period. You know, I'm really excited, to be completely honest, because I think this time away from the road has really made me absolutely miss that experience, miss my rock and roll family. And when we go back out there, like Jeris said, these shows are going to be selling out. People are going to be coming out to shows. People want that tribal fucking experience where you're sweating and singing next to the homies and like meeting new people and crowd surfing and stage diving and mosh pitting, and like that whole experience. Like, it's going to be like next level, because we left we left touring on one of our most successful European tours. And
Ever.
for me, that's like, I can't wait to just come back to that and just step that thing up and up and up and up and keep building. But yeah, we're dropping a new record. We're dropping new music this summer from an album coming later on, probably early 22. And so, yeah, just be ready. P. Roach coming. We're taking this thing by storm. It's going to be ill.
Cool, guys. So thanks so much for your time. Thanks, Jacoby. Thanks, Jeris. And we're going to actually end this interview with Last Resort Reloaded. Such a brilliant collaboration you've done. That's the perfect example, you know, on how a song can really be eternal. It's an immortal song. And even, you know, with a new breed, new energy, it's still such a strong anthem. So thanks, guys, very much for everything you do. And everybody listening, ciao, Jacoby. Ciao, Jerry.
Ciao.
Ciao.